I've made a living in very dangerous.
Integrated home together.
Dianne Andrews in black and white. Welcome to Dianne Andrews in black and white. I'm your host, Dianne Andrews. Thanks for joining us today, whether it's out of the comfort of your home or whether you're in Europe or you're watching us on YouTube or wherever. We appreciate your loyalty. Dianne Andrews does international shows, and we also do state shows, and we also do local shows. Today we'll be doing a show that is right here in East Baton Rouge Parish. Really specifically, the court is being held in Baton Rouge. We're going to tell you about a franchise fee. There are 12 city councilmen in the city of Baton Rouge. They went to Energy and they asked for a franchise fee to be put on some of their residents. And I'm going to talk to the lawyer who's with us today. What does some of the residents mean? How did they choose, Energy choose, or we may not know, who to put the franchise tax on. They predicted $3.5 million to fight crime in city and parish was what was predicted to come from this franchise tax. I call it a tax, a franchise fee, tax fee, whatever you want to call it. It took our money. At the end, they ended up doing more than 3.5. They did $4.6 million. So that was over what they projected. They gave $1.2 million to the 12 districts, to the 12 city council persons. And that means there was $3.4 to go to the 19th Judicial District Court, to go to Hillamore, the DA, and to go to the Department for our police. All those need money. We know they need money for crime. But $1.2 million ended up being almost $5,000 going to each district. So what they found out is that they were doing sponsorships. They were allegedly doing sponsorships, events. One person even bought a trailer and put their name on it. This is all alleged. We will let the lawyers talk about what really happened. We will be talking to 3 guests today, one person who helped bring the case forward and 2 attorneys who are handling the case. So come on back to Dianne Andrews in black and white for you to really find out what's going on with our money here in the city of Baton Rouge and the parish of East Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm Sydney Mays Robinson, and I am so excited to talk about Fuji's totes today. We absolutely love this household item. It is perfect for expectant mothers and families with friends. Yes, as you can see, Sasha, she absolutely loves her tote. This is something that she has had since a newborn. She'll be 12 months at the end of this month, and as you can see, she still fits in her tote, even at 23 pounds. So it's a great gift. You get a lot of use out of it, and it really is just something that makes her feel special and makes her feel loved. She loves the swaddle aspect of it, and she gets to enjoy it throughout the day. So it's just a great quality product and something that we really do enjoy having in our household. And Sasha enjoys having it too. Yay!
We have Darrel Glasper, who was one of the people who helped bring the case forward. And Darrel is a frequent guest on here. You all probably know Mr. Glasper. He is a former city council person himself on East Baton Rouge Parish. He also is an entrepreneur. He's a Republican, and I call him an activist because he's acting in everything he can to try to help the people of this city. Next to him, we have Feli DeJean of DeJean Law Firm, which is downtown Baton Rouge, who is one of the lawyers on the case. And then another regular guest is Senator Elbert Guillory, who is also on the case with you. Is
yes,
that correct?
ma'am. He's from Opelousas. We're like the 2 deuces from Opelousas.
Are you from Opelousas?
We're from Opelousas, that's right.
Yeah.
I practice here in Baton Rouge.
Okay. So tell us all about the case, where we stand, and what you are projecting that will happen.
Well, right now where we stand is, the suit has been filed, and the city had filed a no cause of action and a no right of action, which is an exception, saying that we didn't really have standing. Clients didn't have standing, in which we recently had a hearing. And
now you have 3 clients, Andy?
Yes, ma'am.
That's Darrel and
Mr. Reed,
Mr. Reed and
Miss Williams.
Miss Williams. Okay.
Yeah. And so the exceptions were filed. The judge ruled in our favor which essentially says we can go forward. The other issue that that was out there was there was a protective order trying to keep a client quiet, like a gag order, and they were trying to thwart his First Amendment right to speech.
Mr. Glasper, just
Mr. Glasper, well, also the city press, right, Mr. Guillory?
Central City
Central City News, which is
I know that.
Central City News.
Say his name.
And they were trying to thwart their First Amendment rights, and we won on that
Woody Jenkins.
that matter as well.
That's Woody Jenkins.
Yes, it's owned by Woody Jenkins, and we stopped that, and my client's first the judge did the right thing to where she didn't violate his First Amendment rights. It's freedom of speech.
Woody was either a state rep or a city council person himself here in Baton Rouge, wasn't he? That was before I got here.
State representative
rep.
in the 60s.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
We feel pretty good about this right now. As Andy said, they tried to throw us out, and the judge said,
Who is the judge on he sent she? It's a
Yes,
female.
ma'am.
It's a female dude.
She's an ad hoc judge, Judge Matthews, John L. Matthews. So she's sitting there ad hoc right now. The Supreme Court, they appoint her for a certain period of time until
The Louisiana Supreme Court.
yeah, that's correct. Until a new judge will come in until there's a new election, actually. So that's what we have.
with all of the technicalities swirling around, getting to the bottom of it, what this is about, and it has statewide implications. It's about the taxpayers' money.
That's right.
We are just the plaintiffs in this case are tired of seeing.
You live here too, right?
Absolutely, I
Right.
pay these taxes.
That's
too.
right. Why did they say take money from some of Entergy's residents? Who are the some? How did they decide who to put that fee on?
It was the unincorporated area of East Baton Rouge Parish, because the incorporated area had already worked out some type of agreement with the Metropolitan Council. It was only the unincorporated area that they then assessed the fees toward. And that was one of the arguments. They said we didn't have standing. Well, we never challenged the fee itself. We only challenged how the fee was distributed. That money was supposed to go into the general coffers and then distributed equally in the parish. One of the main things I want to say about the beauty of having these attorneys, and I want everybody in the parish to understand that they, as attorneys, did not take this case until they realized and understood, were this a personal vendetta? Was this personal? Did you have any personal animus towards anybody? Because I've lived in the district, and both of them, before they decide to sign up and take the case, regardless if the case was good or not, they wanted to know what was the start game and what was the end game. And for the taxpayers, I want to say, Ms. Andrews, and to the attorneys, I want to thank you all first for taking the case, and second of all, from going to the courtroom and doing a very fabulous job on behalf of the taxpayers. They didn't win one exception. And what really...
Are y'all getting any threats or anything from anybody with this case?
No, not threat. No, we're not going to get any threats because you have two great attorneys and you have an activist, and so I'm not worried about the threats. Let me say this. I'm worried about the lawyers on this case that work for city parish government. I'm going to say this to everybody in the parish. I am not personally upset with any of the council members.
Right.
They were elected. I'm upset with their behavior. It's like my grandmother said.
This is not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal.
No. That's right. This is
It's
not
never
personal.
going to be personal.
Right.
Just
Some people make it personal.
do the right thing.
They think it's...
No, I think their lawyer for the city parish, Greg Rome, he's a good friend of mine. I think he's a really good lawyer. I mean, I'd have him represent me. I mean, he's a good lawyer.
Wow.
We just disagree. I mean, he's just protecting his council members. That's all he's doing. He's protecting his, he's
Right.
doing his job.
He represents all 12.
He represents all 12 and the mayor. So Mr. Rome is just doing his job, and he's got a very tough job to do, and I respect his job, but I just don't respect the fact that council members can't give out taxpayer money.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
Because I read that some went to pay for events and sponsorship of different... How do y'all know where it went? How have you been able to
teams.
trail basketball teams?
Basketball teams is going to money for, like you said earlier, for for a $36,000 4x4.
Yeah, with their name on it.
With their name on it, you know, driving. What public purpose does that serve? It serves no public purpose. It's something for somebody to benefit from personally.
Yeah.
That's what we stand for.
Or to help them get reelected so people know who they are riding around the city.
You know, that's what we're standing up for the taxpayer here. We think that there should be accountability for where these monies are going. And when we looked at the ledgers, it just didn't look good for the, you know, for
So
the
they
taxpayer.
had, you subpoenaed their ledgers,
Right.
every member, all 12 districts.
Can I jump in just a second? And I want the taxpayers to know, on open checkbooks, when you spend government money, there is a ledger. You have to report that money to the finance department. The finance department then approve it or disapprove what you're trying to spend, and then they put it out in the public, called what they call open checkbooks. If you go down the ledgers of how this money was spent, you would be amazed. Some of it went to basketball teams of council members. They sponsored
Like high school teams, elementary?
AAU teams, where some of them daughters played on. For example, $5,000 out of one district went to a beautician for transportation. Another
To come do our hair.
Well, I know it was for transportation. It was
Transportation,
marked
yeah,
transportation,
where was she,
and
in Europe?
then you have the famous AVT, what you call those things that you ride to the football game with. That was money spent for hot dogs. There was money spent for tailgating. There was money spent for, you know, organizations that
Personal fund.
most people don't agree with.
It looked like.
Now, the whole lawsuit in the nutshell is this. We have asked the Metropolitan Council through two great attorneys, let's try to settle this. Let's not drag the taxpayers into more spending.
Right.
And they've been working with them and trying to communicate with them. But it's the council. It's not the attorneys. It's not Ashley Beck. It's not Greg Rome
Right.
and his attorneys. It is the city council saying, look, this is our money. We want to spend it the way we want to spend it. Now, having said that,
A lot
Article
of people
7,
believe that when they take office.
Article 7, Section 14 of the Louisiana State Constitution said you can't donate money, you can't give money, public money away. And I see this as a businessman 36 years
They're
ago.
not even supposed to accept gifts, are they?
No, the campaign contributions,
Donations,
but
sponsorships.
they flow when they give the money away. Let me say to the public, I look at this and I want these attorneys to know, 36 years ago, I was in business. At the time, I was the Metropolitan Council. I looked at my position as 1/12 of this corporation.
That's right.
People don't understand. This is one of the
That's because
largest,
you're a business person.
the largest
A lot of people
corporation.
don't understand. I see the money, it's mine. They don't understand.
That's right.
And that's what they really believe. So they don't think they did anything wrong. Maybe some of them.
No.
But you all have told them and pointed out to them what they did wrong.
Well,
I mean, it's because of what they want to believe. I mean, in reality, they know they did something wrong, right?
Yeah,
If you're going to play the game,
Yeah.
you have to learn the rules of the game.
that's right.
And yeah, I'm not saying that anyone here is a bad person, but some of their activities have been bad and violate the rules. We want that stopped. And as I said, this is going to have statewide implications.
Right.
Because politicians across the state do this from time
But
to
you know, a
time.
lot of people don't have the people like Darrel and Mr. Reed and the lady who bring it forth. It takes a lot of guts to do that, and it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of caring, number one, and most people don't care anymore. Okay, they took the money. They're going to take it here or somewhere else. But you maybe if they see this, especially here, and as long as a person like Darrel is around, they'll know Darrel's going to find it. And he's going to go after it.
He's a watchdog
Yes, he is.
And a warrior.
and a
And a
warrior.
lot of people don't like that.
Well, let me say this, like it or not,
Yeah,
the
I
taxpayers'
get the
money, the
same problem.
taxpayers' money.
I get the same problem.
And I want to say this, and I kind of just, to take us back step, you know what drives me and has been driving me for all 40 years of politics is what the community did for me and my family. You're looking at a guy who had 9 brothers and sisters who came up on welfare. Now, welfare is something that somebody be ashamed of. Like my father went off to the army.
Dale Brown grew up on welfare. Maybe people may not know
hold on
that.
a second.
I am, you do.
What it did for us was giving us the stability. I understand the brown boxes with the silver cans when it was going to Ryan Airport in the late 50s, 58, 59, 60.
Yeah.
So I understood that. And no one understood today powdered eggs, powdered milk, and block cheese. They fought over the block cheese. So I say that, and I remember
They
the day.
still give out that block cheese.
Oh yeah, look, they will kill you over that block cheese. That was the best thing in
Black
America.
cheese.
But listen to me, the public, and all the public
I hate
want.
some of them.
Let me say this to you: the people out there that's watching this, and they want a fair shake. They want the scales of justice balanced and evenly. And when you giving out money as a politician, you're looking at one of the best politicians in the state of Louisiana, was a state senator, and from a town that have gone from 30,000 down to 12. Am
You're
I
the
right?
only black Republican senator ever in the state of Louisiana, aren't you?
Well,
Is there one more?
Since Reconstruction.
Since Reconstruction. Yeah, back then you had a lot of politicians who were
That was the
black
1890s.
Republicans. Yeah.
I guess I was a little boy then.
But that's a sad testament, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well,
we don't have.
we're
we have
getting
to
We don't have
better.
any Republicans, hardly.
We have to have someone
Yeah, I'm a
sitting at
Republican
every
too, you know.
table.
Yeah, you know,
It's
I'm
just
a
that
Republican.
simple.
Yeah.
And when we don't, we miss out.
But I tell you, a lot of it is the fault of the Republican Party. I'll say they have a lot of problems within the, I'm a Republican. Yeah.
Well, let me say this, and I tell this.
I'm a Republican.
Look,
I'm really an independent
I get full disclosure. I have the honor of being put out the Democratic Party many years ago because I fought gambling. I thought gambling was going to destroy Baton Rouge.
Really?
It did. Oh yes, ma'am. I fought it with everything I could.
Yeah.
I fought it, and most people don't know this, but they took a good shot at me one day. The good Lord made me duck at the right time, and my keys fell. But and let me say to you, I put that behind me.
Oh, you mean a real shot?
No, real shot.
Oh, okay.
Now, most people don't know that, but let me say this to you. It is what you receive from this community. When I was an athlete, I was a hero.
Yeah, because you're at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but no,
basketball player, right?
But I was a hero.
In Southern?
And when I got involved in politics, I became a zero because that's just the way it is. But
because you were a Republican.
No, listen to me. Because I look at policies. It's not you said it best. The Republicans have some problems. The Democrats have some problems.
Yes.
But you have to look at and see what's best for the people. Now, at the end of the day, this whole show, in my estimation, is about one thing: is the people out there have to talk to their local elected officials. Say, hey, listen to me. Stop spending money. You've been beat by two of the best attorneys. When they filed this lawsuit, the first thing I received on my phone.
Now, can we call this a win yet?
Hold on, let me explain something.
beaten.
And I'm not an attorney.
Okay.
But I was an investigator in the courtroom for 3.5 years, and I thought I was one of the best. When these guys filed this lawsuit, the first thing I received on my phone was a mojo laughing. They were laughing their ass off. I'm talking the people in the city. All these African American so-called politicians and community leaders, they were laughing. They said this is the frivolous lawsuit, and even the attorneys. And I made the statement: be careful. God doesn't play. Right. Talk to your politicians and ask them to stop spending money. Get your attorneys to get with my attorneys, and let's work this out. Give the money back to the general fund. All of the money that you haven't appropriated to spend for this year, give up community centers. Politicians that's their economic, I call it political economic development for them, because it's job for them.
Well, I saw that's part of it, right?
Yes,
community
ma'am.
centers. They gave some money to community centers
Yes.
too, right? And they're not this was crime. It could only be spent on crime activities, is that right?
No.
And
It was supposed to be.
Right, it's supposed to be. Now, but community centers are a little bit different. See, when I was elected 36 years ago, my attorneys, Ron Johnson, who's a judge, Ron Johnson, who's a judge, and Ernest Johnson, who's been teaching at law school for 50 years.
he's not related to the two boys.
I call them, there was some bad brothers. They like these attorneys right here.
Yes,
These two guys from
they are.
Opelousas.
I did a show with one of them. They're very smart.
Let me say this to you.
Yeah.
Those attorneys sent me down 36 years ago. I was just a newly elected official. And they told me, they said, Darrel, read what they issued to you on that stage. It's the plan of government. I lived with it. I'm serious. I lived with it. And I understood that 205 say you should not supposed to receive any other benefits. That's number one. 210 said that you could not appropriate money, vote on it, give it to yourself, and spend it.
That's right.
You can be removed.
That's like having a corporation.
There you go.
And if you've ever been in business and you writing personal checks from your LLC, you can't do that and put it in your bank account from the company
That's
unless
correct.
it's a loan you're getting from that company.
That's right.
But don't you think, this 36 years ago you mentioned, don't you think the landscape of people running for politics now is different? A lot of people just, it used to be I want to run to help the community. And it I want to run now to help me.
I want to.
I want to run now to run later.
Yeah.
For something else, something
Yeah.
bigger.
Elbert,
Yeah, something big.
You want to address that, Elbert?
I
What-
think that you're correct. I think that
Yeah, I'm asking.
the attitudes have changed
Right.
over the years. And it's sad
Very.
to see so many people who stuff their pockets instead of taking care of the taxpayers and the people of Louisiana.
And it's not just, I did a show a long time ago with Silky Slam, and I had some ministers there. When Silky was still here, we used to do some shows together. And Sheriff Dabney was on that show, I remember. And Silky was talking to the minister, I won't say the name, sitting across, there was about 5 people on that show. And I said, he's sitting right next to Dabney, and he going against Dabney to talk to that minister about what they don't do in the black community to help youth in the black community. And you cannot argue with that. Do we go back and reach up enough to pull others the way we should?
If you look at the problems of our communities,
Right.
the black communities
Right.
across Louisiana,
Right.
if you look at those problems of crime, of poor
Little girls
education,
having babies at 14, 15, number one in HIV and AIDS, not to interrupt you. But I think the biggest problem, and I'm gonna let you finish, in our society is 70% of our children grow up with no daddy.
Exactly.
I think that's a
That's a
major
big
problem.
Exactly.
And we do nothing to teach that little girl she's more worthy than she thinks she is.
well, look at the school that she went to. The school is probably a pit of violence and disrespect.
And but she has no, even you can take some people out, of a poor situation, right? Cleo
Yeah.
Fields, poor situation, right? Didn't he grow up in a poor situation? The Field boys.
I don't know.
Didn't they grow up in a poor situation?
I don't know. I know they're all bright. I know they're bright.
Yeah, they're very smart. And if I'm wrong, I may be wrong, but I know it was 8 or 9 of them. I do
Right.
remember
Yeah, they're all
reading
bright.
that.
All the Fields families bright.
Yeah, very smart. But I don't know, I'm just saying, if you can do something with yourself, even if you come out of a poor situation, is all I'm trying to say, if it's within you.
You can do it. It can
But
be
if you
done.
got a mother and a father there, even if they're poor, and they're teaching you right from wrong, you'll be a much better person and a much better grown person.
Well, you asked about politicians, and the politicians who run these and who are responsible
Community
for these
centers is what made me think about that.
is not they are not doing the job that can be done.
What do they do at these community centers?
If you go across town, those same problems do not exist. If you go to gated communities, if you go to suburbs, those problems, those inner city problems, don't exist. What they have is better politicians and better politics.
But they have money.
Then,
They have money too.
well, they play the politics better.
Yeah.
Because some of the folks in the inner cities, too many folks are stuffing the money in their pockets.
You don't think there are in these rich districts too?
What?
They're resolving the problems, and that's,
You know-
let's talk about resolving the problem.
One of the things that I have learned over my 40 years of being in politics is that justice don't discriminate against anybody. I want to say this to you, and I'll say it to this public that's
That
looking at this
doesn't
today. I was told when I first decided to run for office, and I ran for office for a very good reason, because they tried to steal my grandmother's house. They tried to condemn it and then turn around and rent it back to her. That's why I got involved
is
in
they?
politics. I wasn't interested
they,
in politics. That's why I don't care nothing about no politics.
What they
I
do?
don't want to run from. I'm
With
talking about the
eminent
politicians.
domain?
They,
They
no,
put
the
it on your
politicians.
house?
They were trying to take houses like they're doing right now. They take your property, tear it down, and they make your friends buy it so that they can get some net worth. Now listen, let me tell you this. You think about this, and I want the public to see this real. It's just very simple. How can a person run from office without a job? How can a person run for the job? He can't put
Takes
food
money.
on his plate. How you going to put a food on 45,000 people's plate?
Right.
That was told to me 36 years ago. If you can't take care of yourself, how you going to take care of the
Right.
problem?
And it's true.
And when the deals come, you know, that's who the deals makers are. They're going to make a deal with you to make sure that you have bread on your plate, and don't forget about the community. And
Right.
that's why we have crime.
Do you think though they believe they are helping the community, so it's okay for me? And I'm not saying, I'm not just talking about these 12, I'm talking about politicians, period. Do they believe that I'm gonna help you a little, but I'm gonna take some too, and that's okay? Because
No,
I'm helping
it's,
myself and you.
it's never okay.
Oh, I'm saying, do you think that's what's in their
No,
head?
but I'm just saying, if they're thinking like that, it's never okay, because you have to remember that the people needs are better than yours. See, they're supposed to be servants.
I mean, you're correct.
Right.
Some of them do, but they've got some very good Metro Council women and men on there. There's just, we've got a few bad eggs that we've got to go crack.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
all
Ain't that right?
12 of them
No, they're
did
not
take
bad.
this $105,000 and distribute it to other than crime. Is that correct? Or do you know that?
I wouldn't say all
Oh.
12. I've got to take a look at the
Yeah, to
details
see who
again.
did or didn't.
But
What could
enough-
be what could be the repercussions from this? Could
Oh.
happen to these
Could
people
be,
that,
if some of this money has been misspent
Yeah.
and misapplied.
somebody went
like,
to Europe on vacation?
Just misspent, misapplied, malfeasance in office, there could be criminal consequences to this that could have them, they could see some jail time or, fine, or possibly lose their seat.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely lose their seat, so.
Or it
it's-
could be
it's
as little as
serious.
just give the money back.
And stop
Spend-
misspending.
Stop spending the money.
That's the bottom line.
Not only in Baton Rouge, but across the state.
So anything else you all?
No,
Well, thank you all for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And telling.
And thank you.
This-
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
You're welcome. I always try to shine a light. Hey, I'm like Trump said, I do this on my own time just to try to shine a light. And a lot of people don't like me because I'm a conservative myself. So it's like Candace Owens used to say, not that I want to mimic anything she says, not right now, but she had a hard time being a conservative, and you do in the black community.
Yes.
A lot of women definitely.
It
I don't
is-
have a lot of friends left, that's for sure.
It's
not-
okay, you
not
got me
easy.
now, I mean, you've
Oh,
read.
good.
But we all go in the same direction, but thank you very much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Come on back to Dianne Andrews next week, and we're going to be doing something on the commercial driver license. I don't know if most people have seen, but 30 people died in crashes, and 17 crashes last year from illegal immigrants who could not even speak English and could not read the street signs. So we're going to be talking about that, and then we're going to talk some about Venezuela from a Venezuelan. Come on back next week to Dianne Andrews. We come on Cox, Channel 13 on Sundays at 3 p.m. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Hi, this is Ellen, and I'm here to talk about Fiji's Totes. This is a wonderful dog bed. I cannot say enough good things about it. And the crazy thing is that it's just a dog bed, but it's so much more than that. As you can see, my dog Bailey is perfectly comfortable and happy. What's so great about this pillow and why I decided that I had to talk about it was because I had spent so much money on dog beds. Every month I was buying a new dog bed. $50, $60. The next month, another one because it would get stinky and I couldn't clean it. And finally when I met, well, I'd already known Miss Dianne, but when she told me about her dog pillows and how great they were, I was like, I need to get one. You just throw it in, wash it, and then let it air dry, and it's perfect. You can vacuum it in between, and it's just amazing.